seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
What's up, guys, and welcome back to another Join Dota League Season 3 game. This is going to be from the American Division 1, I think it is? Pretty sure it's Division 1. We got Top 5 on the Radiant going up against Isurus Gaming on the Dire. The game was scheduled to launch at about 30 minutes ago. But, you know, it's JDL, so we're going to be perfectly late, therefore perfectly on time. And, well, it should be a decent one. However, we are having a couple of stand-ins. Top 5, they have Cat, who I saw stand-in with them before, so I don't know if that's a real stand-in or just an unofficial one. Static Ashes, I have no idea, and I'm pretty sure this guy isn't legendary, who plays on Top 5 usually, so I mean, most of Top 5 isn't here, and Isurus Gaming, we spent a very long time waiting for this dude to come in and Algo Donchin also to come in, so whole bunch of people who don't normally play for the team, and normally Isurus Gaming, they have a pretty nice Meepo player and everything like that, but with a whole bunch of stand-ins, I don't know if they necessarily want to go down that route. As for your caster, I am Mike Loris. The name is in the title, and that should be pretty clear to everyone. But just want to make sure everyone does know it, because it's important. Alright, so we got ourselves a draft, and it looks like, well, Ember Spirit getting a little bit more hate than usual. Poor Ember Spirit. And I don't know how long it's been since I've seen him in the first ban slot. I don't even know if I've ever seen him taken that high priority of a ban. It's a very annoying hero to go against, but it's perfectly manageable. You get a couple stuns, get yourself some silences, and then Ember Spirit is not going to have a fun time. If you shut him down early, he will not be a factor for a good part of the game. And, well, that's going to let some generally powerful heroes get through the pool. Brewmaster Razor still in the pool, and Top 5, it's going to be the Razor. Who could have possibly seen that coming? That was just, you know, my head exploded at that pick. The Shadow Shaman Razor, we've seen this time and time again. You lock him down, you whip him to death, easy peasy. Of course, whipping the Tide Hunter to death is going to be a little bit difficult. This Watermelon guy is pretty difficult to crack, and Isurus Gamer going to be banking on that fact as well. I mean, having such a tanky frontline hero against anyone is really nice. The Anchor Smash kind of pales in comparison to the damage drain that Razor will eventually get. But hey, it's something that lets you handle the lanes early on, and if he does go up against a Shadow Shaman and a Razor lane, if they have one other support hero, pretty much no matter who it is, Tide Hunter's not going to have the best of times, but he will be on the Dire side off lane, so Isurus Game will always be able to stack up some Ancients and help the Tide Hunter farm and get his Arcane Boots, his Blink Dagger, everything he wants, everything he will ever want through those Ancient camps. And if they can't do that because it's blocked or whatever, then always the hard camp is perfectly viable, and well, it'll be a little bit slower for Isurus for sure, but it's better than nothing. It for sure is better than nothing. They're taking their sweet time, though, in order to pick this secondary hero. It's, I think, a choice between Skywrath Mage and, well, no longer a choice. I was mid-sentence, so I wasn't just going there because I saw the pick. It was Skywrath Mage, and then they picked Skywrath Mage, so it wasn't my fault. But Tide Hunter Skywrath Mage, it was either him or a Brewmaster, I want to say, or possibly a Death Prophet. They do like the Viper also, so I wouldn't be surprised to see them pick up 2 green heroes in a row, because green heroes, everyone knows, are second only to blue heroes in this game. Purple's pretty strong too. But Skywrath Mage is one of the most potent supports in the game, and, well, they have to make sure to pick up some of those premier supports, with Earthshaker, Wraith King still in the pool, and then I would say those are pretty much the top 4 supports at the moment, with heroes like Witch Doctor, Rubik, Vengeful getting a little bit more useful depending on what the enemies have and what you have, but in general, it's just Skywrath Mage, Shadow Shaman, Earthshaker, Wraith King. They are the ones who you really want to heavily pick up and prioritize. Otherwise, the enemy team is going to ban them out, and you'll be pretty sad. Have our second ban phase now, Death Prophet as well as Viper. So it looks like both teams, well, seeing as though they don't really have much of anything to go on off of their first 2 picks, both sides have a fairly generic start. I mean, Tide Hunter Skywrath Mage leans itself a little bit more towards the team fight aspect rather than the pushing, whereas Top 5 with the Razor Shadow Shaman kind of leaning the other way, a little bit more towards the pushing and not as much towards the team fight. But we'll see if they actually want to commit fully in either direction, and it doesn't really matter if they decide not to. I mean, they'll always still have that team fight. Tide Hunter setting up the Ravage into a Mystic Flare is always going to be devastating, even if you are a Razor. Maybe not once you get the BKB, but, you know, it's always going to be fine in general. Isurus is going to get rid of a Slark, actually. They already have the Skywrath Mage. It's a Slipper here to deal with, and there we go. I like the Viper Brewmaster ban from top 5. If you don't really know where the enemy is going, you might as well just ban out the most powerful heroes you could think of. And, well, I'm personally hoping for this game that there will be something weird. Top 5, seen them play a couple times. I don't remember if they've played anything super weird. And again, with stand-ins, you kind of don't want to play as weird as you ordinarily will. But something weird to wake everyone up, because we just waited a really frickin' long time in order to get this game off the ground. And this is the best of 2, so there will be 2 games, and hopefully the second game won't take like 50 minutes to launch either. Knock on wood. Alright. Top 5, they go with the Nature's Prophet, and it looks like they are going to go a little bit further down that pushing route. We will give them a nice unit-based pushing, and Isurus Gaming, with their first two picks, currently have pretty much no AoE to speak of. Tidehunter might be comfortable to anchor smash the creeps and save the tower a little bit of HP, but against a Shadow Shaman, if he gets a little bit too close, he could very easily be punished and brought down. So Tidehunter's got to watch himself, and Isurus, they're going to want to pick up, I want to say, just a Shaker here. I mean, against the Nature's Prophet, Shaker is what you want most of the time. There's no reason not to. Or a Sand King. Sand King is good too. A very similar hero to Earthshaker. Early on, his roaming and defensive capabilities isn't as good. But as far as melee strength supports that don't have much lane control, it's got to be Sand King and it's got to be Earthshaker. But Sand King is great at clearing those Nature's Prophet waves. He will blink in with an Epicenter, and once you get a Blink Dagger, Burst Strike on your Sand King, then heroes like Nature's Prophet, who rely very heavily on their positioning, are going to be really punished. So Isurus Gaming going to put a lot of stock into their Sand King, and I also probably play this one a little bit more defensively. So they're going to have the Tidehunter in the off lane, and Sand King most likely going to spending most of his time in the jungle, because that's what Sand Kings do. They get to level 3 after hopefully a first blood for Isurus. You know, try to get to that level 3 mark as soon as they possibly can, so that the Sandstorm is level 2, makes jungling super easy, and, well, I mean, it makes jungling viable. Try jungling with Sandstorm at level 1, you're not going to have a fun time, because if you get those Satyr Hellcaller, the Shockwave dudes, they that regen aura is just terrible when you have Sandstorm level 1. Don't do it, you will regret it. But top 5, they're going to be the ones picking up the Earthshaker. Knew we were going to see this gorilla somewhere in the draft. It was just a question of who was going to pick it up. And top 5, it's not exactly going to help them in their pushing that much, but as it stands right now, they have enough pushing to be perfectly functional. So between the Earthshaker and the Shadow Shaman, the long-range fissure will set up for the Shadow Shaman to be a little bit more aggressive. Top 5, it looks like they're going to be playing the aggressive game, whereas Isurus, they're going to be playing the defensive game. And then at that point, it's just a matter of, can the defense hold? Usually it's the aggressive side that has to make mistakes, something like that, or just be overwhelming in numbers in order to crack the defense. And if the defensive side usually does hold, then usually they will come out ahead in the late game, which right now isn't necessarily the case with Invoker being the 4th pickup from Isurus. They will have a little bit more of an inclination to go aggressive a little bit earlier on. They can set up for those Sunstrikes. Sand King, Skywrath Mage, damage into an Invoker Sunstrike will most likely be a dead anyone who they could find. And when you can kill anyone like that, then you're going to feel pretty good about this game. But as far as late game damage scaling is concerned, Isurus, they still need a core hero. I wouldn't be surprised to see a hero along the lines of a Luna Gyrocopter or something like that. Hell, they could even go really deep into the late game and pick up something like a Spectre to try to semi-counter the Nature's Prophet. I wouldn't mind any picks around those lines. Looks like Wraith King is going to get the boot out. Just anticipation for the Wraith King carry. Against Earthshaker, Nature's Prophet, Razor, there's a lot of stuff that Wraith King's going to have to get through, so Blink Dagger would have been super important for him, but it looks like it's not even going to be a problem, because no Wraith King.
10 seconds remaining.
But Isurus, what are they going to ban out? Top 5, they need another core as well. I mean, they'll have a pretty decent tri-lane, Earthshaker, Razor, Shadow Shaman. They need to pick up a mid-hero, most likely to go up against the Invoker, unless they're going to be very surprised by a Skywrath mid. But versus Invoker, there are pretty much any hero that you could possibly want. The matchup versus Invoker is, for most heroes, you do very, very well for the first 5 levels, and then it gets a little bit more difficult as they usually have to leave the lane, whereas Invoker could stay and chill. As far as mid lane heroes who could push, it's either push or initiate. And right now, top 5, they'll need a little bit of initiation because only their supports with eventual blink daggers will be that initiation. A puck wouldn't be too terrible for top 5, but if they really want to go for push, then I think it's just got to be the Dragon Knight. He will not have the best time in the game, but it would fit pretty well with top 5's pushing strat if they do really want to go for that. And it looks like they themselves will pick up the Luna. So it will be a Razor going to the mid lane, and Luna's going to get some protected farm, or they could even go aggressive and have the Nature's Prophet handle a lane by his lonesome. Either way, this Luna Earthshaker Shadow Shaman lane is pretty damn devastating, if I do say so myself. That level 1 Lunar Blessing is going to wreak havoc. 14 damage on Earthshaker, not very noticeable, but on Luna and Shadow Shaman, that'll be pretty legit. It's also a hero that you could push off of early. Once you get Ring of Aquila, Drums, Power Treads, those types of basic items on Luna, then they could really make a concerted effort to bring down towers. Luna's hit pretty hard by the Tidehunter in the Anchor Smash and Ravage. She is technically ranged, but, you know, let's be honest, not really. So, top 5, they're going to be running, as I said, a little bit more on the aggressive end. And this Luna is also going to give them a little bit of late game insurance. Between Luna and Razor, Isurus Gaming are going to need a fairly hard carry in order to win this game if it does go to the late stages. And they only have 3 seconds to pick it up. What's going to be, guys? Gyro? Sniper. The clock said 0. The clock said 0, so maybe it was a sniper pick, but maybe, just maybe, it was a sniper random. And if it was a sniper random, then Isurus Gaming are actually pretty lucky, because sniper is pretty good in this, or sniper isn't terrible, let's say, in this team composition, but sniper is the pick. Wow. I mean, he's a great hero when there's no one that on top 5 that could instantly jump on you. Nature's Prophet maybe later on can do it if he gets a book and a Blink Dagger or an Orchid, or stuff around those lines. Then Sniper can be very quickly pressured by the top 5 side. But, you know, Luna, Earthshaker, Shadow Shaman, they're not the greatest at closing in, at least until they get their Blink Daggers. Oh, shit. Okay, we are managing overlays like absolute pros, and we are in the game, guys. Sniper, the last pick from Isurus, gonna give them a little bit more late game carry. Also will allow them to push towers, kind of. I mean, Shrapnel is pretty good at doing that. You could pretty much cast, if you're in the mid lane, the range is about, you know, Shrapnel here from all the way over here. It's broken. I don't know how much range that is, but it's a lot. But we'll see how these lanes actually shape up, because we have ourselves some lanes. On the Isurus side, it's going to be AWRNSS777. Thank you for making this so very easy to say. Awareness? Is it awareness? I think it's awareness playing the Sand King. I like that. Nidara is going to be on the Scarlet Mage. Currently they're going to be playing some sneaky Dota. Dulce is going to be on the Tidehunter with Boot to Travel. LDS is going to be on the Invoker, and up top it's going to be Algodonchin? Is that AL God on Chin? I have no idea. Why do these guys do this to me? He's going to be playing the Sniper up top, and he has enough tangos to feed a small country. He's in there for the long haul. On the top 5, we got Whatever, a nice and easy name. Going to be playing the Luna. Supporting that Luna is going to be this guy. Thanks for making this so easy, guys. Why me? Just why are you doing this? The Earthshaker is going to be played by Ashes. It's very simple, thank you. Mid lane is going to be played by Cat, and top, we have Fly. They're actually missing Fly is my son, which is really a shame. Looks like the father and the son will not get their reunion. Ashes going to be chased down. He runs straight into a gush, and Awareness has a burrow strike as well. Ash is taking so much damage. They're going to spread out so they don't all get hit with the fissure. And now the Earthshakers are going to try to burrow through the trees, but that's not going to work. Anchor is going to be smashed down on Static Ashes, and that is going to kill off the Earthshaker. Isurus just randomly having 2 supports there, it sometimes works out really well, especially when your Tidehunter gets gush level 1. Not often is that seen, and even more rarely seen is the full trialing with Tidehunter. Awareness is going to get shackled up, but he does get the burrow struck into the very soft Shadow Shaman. He's getting body blocked by the Sand King as well. Can this body block be good enough? The damage, it's most likely going to be there. Yes, it will be there. Panic Smoke, they hit him so hard he smoked himself. And now Luna, though, right-clicking the Skywrath all the while, is going to get 1 kill off of that, but in the end, Isurus are going to walk away from this with a 2-to-1 kill advantage down in this bottom lane. I gotta say, I was not expecting a tri-lane Tidehunter. It's far from what the meta dictates, but it's a pretty nice adaptation in order to shut down this Luna. Because with the Gush, they will be able to apply some pretty decent pressure to this lane. I expect the Tidehunter to, go 1-1-1, make sure to get at least 1 point Anchor Smash, and then probably just keep Gush at level 1, and if he does choose to max out Gush, then hell, even more power to him. But it looks like that rotation was just a very short-term one. Awareness as well as Ndara actually left the lane after that. So Tidehunter, with that nice start that he has a level advantage over the Earthshaker and the Shadow Shaman. Not as much over the Luna, who did get that solo kill, but Dulce is going to be better than usual in this lane. I think now it was mostly just an effort to get the Sand King up to the level 2 mark. So he does have Burrow Strike, he does have Sandstorm, and now he could, pull and leech a little bit of experience here and there, and then he'll be able to Sandstorm those creeps and be just fine. So Isurus making some pretty smart moves, pretty surprising moves, and top 5 definitely not catching wind of that. So the smart moves paid off for Isurus, and we'll see if they pay off a little bit more. Treant Summon at the absolute perfect time though. Fly, whether that was Star Sense or just luck, doesn't really matter because that will keep him safe for now. So Awareness as well as Nadara both going to be unsuccessful in their 3rd roaming rotation. But hey, the rotations were good enough thus far, and now I think it's just time for Sand King to chill in the jungle all game long. Sniper up top is going to go for a 1-1-1 build. I think I just like the Shrapnel build for Sniper in general. It lets you contribute a little bit more earlier on, and if you're going to be fighting, then it's really what you want. In the meantime, LDS in the mid lane whipped down pretty heavily by Cat. Sunstrike will, I don't know if that hit, but this Razor will barely get out alive. That was only a level 1 Sunstrike, so even if it did hit, it wouldn't have been that noticeable. I think it missed just on the edge. It looked like it hit, but I'm pretty sure it missed. And Invoker does survive, and Cat does as well, though Cat with more restoration still on his person is going to take this time and, well, enjoy the 1 versus 0 lane. Razor is having a pretty decent time here, although Invoker, who has gone for this small adaptation that Invokers have been going for lately, or some Invokers have at least. Getting a very early point in Wex opens the door for Alacrity, and that means your last hitting is going to be super easy. Dulce, stuck in a corner, fight back, Static Ashes, don't fight the Tidehunter, that's a bad idea. You will lose almost every time. But yeah, the Invoker picking up that early point in Wex gives him access to Alacrity, and then a little bit later on it gives him access to a very high level of Exhort Meteor with a low level Wex, which means it doesn't travel very far, which means that you could just drop it on people and then it'll roll like 2 feet and then it'll just, pop out. And that's going to do a lot of damage since the enemies usually don't see it coming. So it'll add a lot to his damage potential, but the downside of that is, of course, that he won't have his level 4 Quas, level 4 Exhort Forge Spirits. So the double Forge Spirits is going to be a little bit delayed, but I like this adaptation. It's going to give him quite a bit of an advantage in lane. It really make up for the fact that early game Invoker has crappy base damage. Top lane Fly in a little bit of a pickle. Shrapnel to slow him down, Concussive Shot to slow him down further. They don't even need a Burrow Strike, but they're going to commit it anyway. Easy kill, easy life. Awareness is going to get his level 3 off of that, so he does have his Sandstorm level 2. His stacks are looking rather bare. Oh, there we go. That's what the Sand King likes to see. So lots of gold for the Sand King and Isurus Gaming. Well, they're working pretty well so far. Bottom lane is getting zoned out heavily, pretty much as expected, but he's also not clearing off these Ancients. I believe there was a Sentry Ward in there for a little bit, so couldn't really do much about that, and I don't think it's worth spending 200 gold to get rid of that. So Tidehunter is going to be roughing it for a good part of this game, but their Invoker's doing just fine, their Sniper's doing just fine, and these supports are doing fine as well. Sand King actually not going for this roaming, for the farming, jungling, super passive Sand King game that we normally see from the hero, but instead leaving a lot more, and now Dulce in the bottom lane. Well, I don't think that was a Kraken Shell proc, but it might have been. Now Fissure onto 2, he's going to take a lot of damage. Where is the Luna? Seriously, where did she go? She's going to come in a little bit later. She has a level 3 beam, but now they're just going to turn on her. She's taking creep damage as well. She's standing still. Sunstrike is going to land. However, Shadow Shaman will tank a little bit of that. Dulce looking for more damage on that Luna, but he's taking so much from the Shadow Shaman. Has another Anchor Smash, but whatever, is going to escape, albeit barely. I believe that Sunstrike was split between 2 heroes. If that was square on the Luna, that would have been a free kill. But now Dulce being chased down by Fly, who teleported in. Phase Boots means that the Tidehunter is going to really struggle to get out of here. The Jukes, the Roshan deny, it's not going to happen. Fly just a little bit too quick with those phases, and, well, off of that, they have a Ring of Basilius, or they should. No, they don't. Why don't you have a Ring of Basilius, guys? Come on. Without Ring of Basilius, this push isn't really going to go that many places, yet still they could put some pretty serious damage onto the tower, and it's better than nothing. And now LDS going to run into now a haste-ruined Earthshaker, though. Fighting up against this Alacrity Evoker, not a good idea. One more right click will kill him off. That was a huge range attack. LDS though going to be chased on out. Still to worry about Nature's Prophet potentially, but in the meantime, bottom lane, Sunstrike will be off the mark again, but I don't think it's going to matter. No, they will make a 1-for-1 trade. Skywrath for Luna, perfectly worth it. Tidehunter still trying to chase that one down, won't find the kill. We're just having kills left, right, and center, guys, but overall, Isurus getting slightly the upper hand because of this. I mean, top 5 did bring in the heavy artillery and the Nature's Prophet, whereas the Isurus sniper was kind of just chilling the entire time, and, well, he does bring a Basilius, so that's what you got to get if you want to take down towers. Dropping down pretty low, now in deny range, so he doesn't actually have another shrapnel. He's going to keep pecking away at it, but I don't think this is actually going to be procurable, although with another shrapnel. Come on, magic shrapnel. Shoot it. No, shoot it. Turn around. Where are you going? No, no, no. Turn around. Oh, come on, sniper, you coward. Get back in there. Well, he lets Nature's Prophet get the tower deny. Odds are he was going to get that anyway, but you can't just back off without at least trying, right, guys? Come on. But Sniper's still going to take down a tower, which will give him a little bit of gold. Phase Boots on him. He's hitting pretty hard with the Ring of Basilius as well as the Phase Boots, so, you know, kind of on par with the Nature's Prophet, although less in the base damage department, so he's going to be struggling a little bit more if they do get into a right-click war. His headshot, which is not leveled up very highly with the take aim, should give him at least a fighting chance. Invoker is going to transition now into a little bit more of a standard Invoker build. 3 points in the Exhort. Expect to see level 7 Exhort and then 3 points in Quas. Very easily going for those Forged Spirits thereafter. Tidehunter has been holding a good deal of his gold, deciding not to go for Arcane Boots or any of that early game shenaniganry. Just go straight for the money item. It's all about the Blink Dagger, and with the double damage rune now found, he could potentially open up a can of whoop-ass on this Razor. Or just circle around and do nothing, because Razor is, you know, if Razor's Razor and he has a bottle, he's very quick with a level 2 unstable current. It's hard to catch up to him, let alone whack him with a melee range attack from the Tidehunter. Though Ravage is available on him, he's going to be forced to wait a little while before he could use it. Unfortunately, like, when you get a Ravage at level 6, you kind of just want to go and kill someone with it. And with a double damage rune, that gets a little bit more possible, because 120 damage a pop at this stage in the game is some serious damage. And also Ravage will set up perfectly for a Sunstrike. Or is it perfectly? 2 seconds? Yeah, it's more or less perfect. Can't ask for that much better setup. But it looks like the fight will happen on bottom lane. Lucent Beam will fly, Nature's Prophet teleports in, makes a whole bunch of goons, but Dulce runs to the front lines, gets hexed immediately, but a perfect 3-man Ravage is incoming. Sunstrike gonna land on the Shadow Shaman, doing a lot of damage with Dulce, gonna crack the shell most of that. Here comes a 2-man Burst Strike from the Blink Dagger, Icon, Sand King, whatever. Gonna be focused down to trying to kill off the Tidehunter, but they just can't do it. 2 points Kraken Shell is too strong. Here comes Cat with one more Plasma Field, will kill off Nidara. No, the Magic Stick will save him for now, and the tower was denied also. Skywrath Mage finding time within all of that to get that deny. Isurus take the fight with the Ravage, and as promised, they just went ahead and killed things. Awareness also coming in big with his Blink Dagger, getting a 2-man Burrow Strike. No Epicenter available, but that's not a problem at all, because Isurus extend their kill score advantage to now 4 kills above top 5, and that's going to give them a pretty comfortable lead in this game. With the Hand of Midas picked up on the Invoker, combined with the fact that Sniper was kind of just chilling up on top lane for, you know, about 9 minutes 45 seconds now, means that he hasn't been having his farm contested at all. He hasn't had to spend a large amount of money buying teleportation scrolls and consumables and all that stuff, because no one's really been pressuring him. They go into the mid lane. Nidara's going to trap in the Sprout. Burrow Strike, though, will save him for a little while longer. The Sandstorm wants to fly. He's going to be brought down in exchange for the Skywrath Mage. A pretty good trade so far, and now it's Cold Snap with the Cat. They'll bring him down as well. Here comes the Sniper. Watch out for your head, Shadow Shaman. Okay, never mind. It's going to be Invoker firing them orbs, but Sniper didn't even have enough mana, unfortunately. But either way, it's still a 3-for-1 trade. Nidara constantly getting the short end of the stick in this particular game. 3-4-3. He's been setting up some kills for his team, but he's always been dying, so there's that. So, either way, Isurus, they're going to lose pretty much exclusively their support, and then get kills on all their cores, all the heroes that it's important to get kills on. And then straight after that, they're just going to go for this little bit of a tier 1 tower push. Sniper could peck away at it, but he doesn't actually have enough mana to fully engage. If he had a full mana tank and Arcane Boots and the Sand King and whatnot, there would have been shrapnel falling from the sky like rain. And it wouldn't have been fun for top 5, because then they would have to play in the shade. Yeah, that's right, I went there. What are you going to do about it? Tidehunter has found the time to pick up his Blink Dagger, and that's going to mean the Ravage is going to be even easier to line up, although it seems like walking in is, well, it's a pretty serviceable way of doing that, as it did lead to a good Ravage down bottom. Top 5, they're going to try to use their inherently aggressive lineup to now take a tower, and Dara going to get sprouted up, and he should be brought down pretty easily. Plasma Field off the mark. Mystic Flare is going to drop on Fly, at least doing a little bit of damage. Now the blink forward for a Burrow Strike onto whatever. The Sniper in the back end is going to headshot, so they can't actually get the Eclipse out. Now the Gush onto Fly with a beautiful Sprout. Not going to happen. Gets flattened by a Deafening Blast. That is also what an early point in Wex does for your awareness. Doesn't have another Burrow Strike, but now he does. Blink, Hex, and awareness going to be dropped pretty quickly. They can't follow up. There's a Ravage, though, onto 3. The Sniper is completely out of mana. He can't really do much else outside of this. Invoker doesn't have any spells. He's going to quickly invoke himself a Ghost Walk and tries to escape. In the meantime, Dulce stuck in a corner, waiting, praying for his Blink Dagger. Shadow Shaman might be in range for a shock, and now Dulce is going to blink. They can't get to him. No, there's the Hex. They can get to him. Or can they? Blink? Oh my god, please don't say it. Please, please. Guys, if you let this hero escape, for the love of God, okay, he's sprouted up. He should die, right? Hit him. Please just hit him. Oh, Dulce is on the run, but Luna comes in at the final hour and cleans up Top 5's mistakes. I thought for sure with the Tidehunter here and the Shadow Shaman here, he would be able to shock him or do something to him. It seems like he was in range, but in the meantime, top lane awareness going to get sprouted up, Burrow striking out of that tree ring. He will be just fine, and he actually does have enough mana for an Epicenter Blink, though Burrow Strike is not available for that. Top 5 take a decent enough fight, and now they slide up to the top lane after taking mid lane. Serpent Wards on level 6, Shadow Shaman now going to be deployed up top, and do they really not have a Ring of Basilius still? Come on, guys. Ring of Basilius is just such an easy, cheap item to build on Luna, and it helps your pushes by so much. But regardless, Serpent Wards deployed, and that's going to lead to another tower. So Isurus, though they did have a nice kill score advantage, the gold earned off those 2 towers, well, top 5 are going to pull it back just a little while, but XP is still an advantage of Isurus. Sniper, what's it going to be? Blinku Dagger on the Sniper. Very interesting. It's not going to help him do that much damage. Of course, Blink Dagger is purely a positioning tool. Yeah, it's not a terrible item to have on the Sniper. I don't know how much I like getting it first, though. I feel like getting a little bit of threat is sometimes a little bit better. Maybe once he hits those level 11, then I would like it a little bit more, because level 2 Assassinate is certainly going to be a welcome upgrade over level 1. So he'll be able to, jump away, assassinate people, and in general just stay alive. He's also gone for the very early Orb of Venom, so I guess between that and Phase Boots, he figures he has enough damage. But this Blink Dagger should be pretty much the only utility item the Sniper is going to pick up. It's pretty much the replacement for the Shadow Blade, which that's the pub Sniper build. This is a pro Sniper build. Tidehunter trying to stack Ancients, but as per usual, Ancient Thunderhides don't take any of your bullshit. They don't give a damn about fishes, I swear. Something's got to change with those guys, because they are broken. But now we see Awareness, as well as Scarith Mage, both with full health, both with full mana. Going to be looking down towards the bottom lane, where Cat is the only one who's actually a viable kill so far. They do have a Blink Ravage from across the trees, although Dulce is kind of running low on mana, and it looks like top 5. That is definitely my dog, so there are Frankers in the house, guys. Nidara is going to, well, just scout ahead for now. If he does find anyone, he could put them in the bounty bag pretty quickly, although it will most likely cost him his life. Awareness, now spotting out Cat. Blink. 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 Burrow Strike onto the Shadow Shaman. With the Mystic Flare Sunstrike, they're going to kill him off pretty easily, but Awareness is going to be the trade. I mean, they probably could have killed off Cat with that much damage with the Mystic Flare Sunstrike. But support for support. I guess it's not going to favor Isurus because they did spend gold for a smoke there, so slightly in favor of top 5, but very, 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 very slight. So the game will continue on as per normal, and let's a quick check at the items in this at this particular juncture. We have a Nature's Prophet wielding that Hand of Midas, so he's going to be farming up a storm as Nature's Prophets usually do, and then going for a Quarterstaff. So it looks like the name of the game is going to be an Orchid for him. It's a good item to have against Tidehunter as well as Invoker. Invoker, you could silence him and focus him down. Tidehunter, you could silence him and then completely ignore him, and then watch as he tries to get someone to hit him so that his Kraken Shell can proc. It's really satisfying. Shadow Shaman doesn't have anything because that's what Shadow Shamans do. Earthshaker trying to build towards his Blink Dagger, but he's about 1,000,000 gold away from that one. Luna is well working on her BKB. She'll have that one shortly, though. With considering the amount of farm she got, kind of would expect to have it a little bit earlier. She does get at the 16-minute mark, and well, could have been a little bit faster, I think, or maybe my expectations are just out of whack. Cat is wielding that mech, so he's going to have that team fight item for his team. And well, on Isurus, they have Blink Daggers galore, Force Staff on the Invoker. They are not going to run into any shortage of mobility anytime soon. They're going to be blinking and forcing all over the place. Now they're going to smoke up again. If they head south, they will catch the very, very soft Shadow Shaman. That's some tasty eats right there. Fissure is available, and the Serpent Wards are there. Dulce has a Ravage, so he doesn't really want to deploy it right now. He's actually trapped, trying to TP away. He won't be successful because the damage is way too high. Nidara's going to drop the Mystic Flare into Fly, but now Awareness caught in the trees, has a Burrow Strike soon enough. Echo Slam being committed, and they will bring down the Sand King also. That was a very nice positioning for the Fissure Wards. I mean, Tidehunter was just stuck back there and just couldn't escape after that. He probably would have survived if he had anywhere to run, but he unfortunately didn't have anywhere to run, so he is going to go down. And then off of that, top 5 with the mech available, they're going to just go for this push. They just profit doing some pretty sizable damage because he does have a large amount of attack speed due to that Oblivion Staff as well as that Hand of Midas. It's going to be a free tower for them over in the bottom lane. Meanwhile, mid Sniper with that Shrapnel. Come on, Shrapnel last hitting. Luna, turn around because your tower is dying. Easy towers, but they lose the Sniper also. Fly's going to get chased down by a set of birds, and he will be brought down, but now Fissure onto Nidara with the Enchant Totem. It's not going to happen. You actually silence him halfway through, but it's not going to matter. Top 5 roaming as a group, and Isurus pretty much consistently being outnumbered and outgunned in these fights. They do get the tower in the end, but at the cost of the Sniper. Not sure if that's actually worth it, because the tower was probably going to drop one way or another. And Isurus, I said that they were going to play a little bit defensively, and they haven't exactly been doing that, but they've been getting kills regardless. But now I think it's about time to make sure everyone is playing with the cards close to the chest. They don't want to be revealing too much, and they don't want to be putting themselves out there to get sniped off, because, see, sniped off, get it, because it's Sniper. But if they do, then the Luna's going to get bigger and bigger, the Razor's going to get bigger and bigger, because whatever actually right now isn't farming that highly. I mean, hasn't been stacking the Ancients or anything like that, because she's just gone for a casual Morbid Mask instead of making the full investment into a Helm of the Dominator. So Luna is not getting any of those stacks off, and no one on the team is doing that for her because her team is clearly full of evil people. Luna's farming okay, though. She does go for the Yasha, but I mean, Sniper already has his, and he's gone for the Blink Dagger, and Luna does have a good amount of net worth, but I just feel like it should be higher at this point. There are so many things that Luna could have done to make sure that she's very firmly on top. The Invoker with Hand of Midas is on top of his team, and Isurus are, all things considered, not having the best of times, even though they do have a nice kill score. The towers are being cleaned up from top 5 at a pretty rapid clip, and, well, they're going to try to equalize that Isurus, but top 5 definitely capable of balancing this out, as whatever does teleport in has an Eclipse. I think this might be the first one. Cat's going to come in from the back, though. What are you doing there, Razor? Not what you want to have happen. Now the Epicenter being channeled will do pretty much nothing. Eclipse and Ravage at the same time. Whatever's going to be dropped pretty quickly. BKB out of panic will not help him. Dulce trying to slip away in awareness into the Invis headshot. Not going to kill off that Earthshaker, as Algodon Shin, whatever, is going to now try to go for Fly awareness. Going to get zapped out for the Shadow Shaman from the back. Now the Hex and the Wards onto the Sniper. Going to bring him down as well. Nidara going to try to run. Here comes LDS. He's like, hey guys, am I late to the party? Deafening Blast is going to kill off one, and then dropping a rock squarely onto the Earthshaker's head. Going to give him 2. He needs another spell, though. He has a little bit of support from the trees, and, well, with the right-click damage of Invoker, he's going to come and clean everybody up for a triple kill. Fly's going to get right back into this fight off of a buyback, but this isn't a fight that you could win. Anchor Smash going to reduce his damage even further, and Fly has got to book it, although Force Staff forward. Invoker has a Cold Snap very shortly, and a Blink Dagger. I don't think Fly is going to escape from this one. Concuff Shot is going to spot him out, and that was a dieback, going to give LDS an Ultra kill. All of that was in preparation to set the Invoker up for the Ultra kill. That was all going according to plan, guys. Invoker collecting everyone's head at the end of that. In the end, they don't get the tower, however, so that kind of sucks. But hell, they get the Invoker a whole boatload of gold. Now he's sitting at 2,200. With the Force Staff, Blink Dagger already online, I want to say it's going to be a Hex for him because he's sitting on so much gold, and it'll be just a nice item to have. But if that Invoker was there when the fight was actually happening, then I'm pretty sure they could have taken that much easier. And, you know, probably fewer people would have died. Looks like LDS is instead going to decide on the Aghanim Scepter. So he's going to have that free Invoke, and it will drop the cooldown drastically. Hell, I guess if you have that much time and space with the Blink Dagger and Force Staff to wait for your cooldowns, then you might as well just lower that cooldown anyway, so that you could, well, just spit spells as fast as you can. And Invoker is going to be actually very close to that since he collected so many heads off of that last fight. It's like Tidehunter is very close to completing his mechanism. That was sentryed for a little bit. It looks like it timed out, however, so they did get a couple stacks, and well, now Tidehunter is going to finish up his mech. No other big items coming up from Isurus. 1400 gold on the sniper, whereas top 5 still only the mech up on the Razor. The Luna is well, picked up a Yasha recipe since last we saw her, but that's not going to do anything. Literally nothing. And HeflaTV is 1 quarterstaff closer to getting his Orchid, but it just seems like top 5, they're getting the towers, which is sustaining them through this game. But even with that tower advantage they have, they're just pretty far behind in as far as the gold is concerned. At least they should be farther ahead. Although it is right now only a 1 tower advantage, so the deny is really helping out for top 5. Isurus, though, going to slowly accrue that gold lead back, and experience was never really top 5's way to begin with. It just feels like top 5 are getting picked off. And I wonder why. HeflaTV getting jumped to the bottom lane. I gotta assume that was just a blink burrow strike, and then HeflaTV being HeflaTV can't really do much about that. So Isurus get a nice little pick off, and now I think it opens the door for Roshan. They did force the buyback of the HeflaTV earlier, so he doesn't have that one available to him currently. And well, they have a decent amount of damage to kill out for Roshan. They'll have Forge Spirits to tank, plus the minus armor from a level 2 Gush. It's a viable way to go, especially if they pick off Cat right beforehand. But going to that Roshan pit with an Earthshaker carrying a Blink Dagger, Shadow Shaman with wards, and an Eclipse is always going to be very dangerous for Isurus. So unless they get a really, really convincing fight, they're not going to feel like they could steal Roshan. Otherwise, the risk is just going to be too high. Heavy, heavy risk. But the prize, not there. Sanjin Yasha now being completed by the sniper, so he's going for, pretty much full-on utility, it seems. He's not going to be hitting that hard, but it's going to be hard to get a bead on him and actually lock him down. It's going to be a little bit easier given the fact that Earthshaker already has his Blink Dagger. Shadow Shaman looks like he's going to go for a Cyclone, actually. So he just wants to put that Tidehunter out of commission for as long as possible, but they're going to need top 5 to get people to the back lines and actually kill off the sniper. Because the way sniper works is that he's always going to start in the back lines. Unless you jump to him, the Razor's not going to be able to get back there easily. At least he'll use Static Link before he does get back there. And that means that the Razor's going to be doing a lot of damage, but also taking a lot of damage from the sniper, because sniper will have his full damage at his disposal. Finally, the Orchid is picked up from the Nature's Prophet, and, well, both teams kind of just chilling. Assassination. Boom! How does losing half your HP to 1 skill sound, Shadow Shaman? That's pretty damaging, and the really damaging thing is that if Sniper was still here, then Assassinate would be up again, and then he could just shoot him again, and then just follow him, and then never stop shooting. It's a brilliant thing, Assassinate. It's what makes Caster Sniper, I would say, viable in air quotes, because I don't really know if it's fully viable. But hey, if you play it and win, it's viable, right? Roshan is constantly being scouted out by everybody. But Isurus, they just want to farm up. Their sniper is still a very long way until he's actually ready to fight comfortably. And though it's going to give top 5 a lot of time for Luna and Razor to farm, Isurus seem to be okay with it. They do have a devastating team fight in the fact that they have a Sand King plus a Ravage level 2 on that and level 2 on the Epicenter as well. So the BKBs from top 5 will help them a great deal, but they currently only have 2, so it can only help them so much. LDS is going to look to solo up the Roshan. Has that Aghanim Scepter completed, and with the Forge Spirits, you will be able to do it. The HeflaTV has been sending in Treants for quite steadily into that Roshan pit, but looks like the momentary lapse that he didn't send in Treants is going to be the moment where LDS decides to jump in and clean everything up. Man, it's got to feel embarrassing for Roshan to be killed by 1 dude. It's like you're sitting here in your pit, and then just 1 rando comes in and starts throwing spells at you. It sucks. But now Aegis plus solo experience. Actually, I think Nadera was there to split. So, half of the Roshan's experience, all of it's gold. This Invoker has his Aghanims completed and then some. He's sitting on 1,600. That's a lot of cash at this stage in the game, even after all these items. This Invoker is crazy farmed. The only issue is that top 5, they are capable of killing off this Invoker pretty quickly. I mean, they have to go through Aegis, Blink Dagger, Force Staff, all that bad stuff. But if they get their hands on the Invoker, then they'll be able to drop him fairly quickly, assuming that Isurus aren't all there to support. It looks like it will be a tier 2 for a tier 2 trade. Luna with doing the damage up top with the Serpent Wards, and, well, actually Tidehunter's around. Blink, Gush, Assassinate's coming, but can't really stop her from doing it. Oh no, why did she stop? She's going to Eclipse and actually turn this one around into Dulce. He's going to take a lot of beams, but it looks like he will escape for now. Wrath of Nature will kill him off, but now the Sniper Get in there, sniper. Oh, he's still hiding, and they will take out Top5. Will get Sand King in the meantime, but Deafening Blast Meteor will kill out the Shadow Shaman, and out go Don Chin. Will kill out the Luna, who's hiding in that corner. LDS going to invoke a Cold Wall, plus an Ice Snap plus a Cold Wall. Fly's going to try a TP, not going to happen. The Beyond Godlike Streak is going to be acquired by LDS, and Isurus, they trade 2 for 3. They lose a tower in exchange as well, but it was kind of a questionable turnaround from the Luna. She had a BKB, and then that was 9-second charge. She wasted a good 2 seconds, I want to say, 1.5 seconds, chilling there, because she popped it, waited, and then TP'd while the BKB was running, taking damage all the while, and then decided to turn and fight. She did kill the Tidehunter, or she did bring down the Tidehunter. Did she kill him? Well, I can't tell because the stupid thing is like this, but the Tidehunter died at any rate, so Luna, I guess, accomplished her goal. It was a pretty crappy goal to begin with, though, let's be honest. So they lose the Luna, most crucially, and they also lose the Nature Prophet, who decided to join in on that fight. Sand King, Tidehunter, acceptable losses for the Azure side, because Sniper did get a kill on the Luna. Yes, he did, so he got a nice kill, plus the Invoker cleaned up for 2. 11-0-6 on this Invoker, and the question is for Azure, can they do anything off of this? They have Forge Spirits, which is decent enough, but Sniper not really healthy. He will be forced to heal, and then rejoin the fight, presumably in mid lane. But here we go, guys. We are a go after the pause. What is it going to be for Isurus? What's going to be for the Sniper? That's what I want to know. It could just be a Demon Edge item, MKB, crit, something around those lines. He is holding still that Orb of Venom. I think that was just casual, but if he picks up an Ultimate Orb, then I might think twice about that. Now it's going to be a Demon Edge item. Okay, so he is going to now just go for a boatload of damage. I mean, he already does have the Shanjin Yasha and the Blink Dagger to keep himself alive, so going for damage after this seems like the common sense thing to do. Especially when your character's holding a gun, because, you know, that seems like he would be wanting to do damage with his gun. I would assume. I'm not sure. LDS looking for a kill on this Razor. He's going to put a lot of damage on him with the Tornado, Blast Meteor, instantly buffed out by BKB, and suddenly LDS has got to book it. He's going to evoke a Ghost Walk, but now Nidara's here as well. Cat's dropping his BKB charge. That was number 1 on him. Now blink forward, have a Ravage onto 2 potentially, although it's just going to be the Shadow Shaman. 20 HP will get zapped by the Skywrath Mage. Wrath of Nature does fly through, but Azurus get a free pick off there and really don't expend anything to get it. Invoker a little bit low on mana. He doesn't have any mana regeneration items, so he's going to be hurting for a little while, but worst comes to worst, he just runs into the enemy base and dies, and then gets the Aegis back, and then has a full tank of gas for the fight. Push down mid lane time, guys, and the Sniper going to pick up a Demon Edge, and then use that damage straight away to, well, try to get his tower. Unless he just doesn't hit the tower at all. This Sniper is playing super, super safe, and also using the obnoxious cast range of the Shrapnel. I mean, that's pretty freaking crazy. They get that, and, well, they lose the Sand... What? Sand King, what are you doing there, bro? I don't really know what the plan was. I mean, I know towers are good to take, but you shouldn't be trying to take it all alone. It seems like a bad idea. I mean, now the rest of Isurus is going to come in, and well, they'll probably take the tower, so Sand King, your death was in vain. Sorry to say. Earthshaker also committed the Echo Slam to that. LDS up on the north side of this tower. Well, he's putting some pretty serious damage onto it with that Alacrity, and he will destroy it. Looks like Isurus, they will back off. They have a Ravage and the Blink. There's a Ravage going to catch 3 heroes with the Meteor onto 3. Fly's going to drop down instantly, but now the BKBs from Cat and whatever. They're going to turn this one around. Fissure going to catch onto 3 as well. They're going to focus down the Sniper who couldn't have a chance to blink out, and the Skywrath Mage also goes down. LDS sitting in his Fissure home. He's going to try to run away, but Dulce in the meantime trapped in the Serpent Wards. LDS going to be sprouted up and focused down. I bet they wish they had their Sand King now. The Invoker has a Blink, has a Force Staff. Blink out. Ghost Walk is very much so needed. He gets hit with the Fissure, and then a pretty nice Enchant Totem. Deafening Blast onto 3. Is he really going to go into the trees and try to fight this one out? Has a Blink Dagger. He's going to try to invoke some Forge Spirits, but there's the Ghost Walk. Is there any True Sight? Guys, why don't you have a True Sight? There's some True Sight, but it's a little bit too late because his Blink was back online. There's a jump forward from Ashes, though. He does have another Enchant Totem for another stun. LDS going to throw a Sunstrike, but he's finally going to go down. Luna is going to end this Beyond Godlike streak, claiming 1371 gold for her. That's her match style and then some. Off of that fight, top 5 take a really nice one because of the Razor and Luna holding BKBs. If Isurus were just a little bit faster in pulling that trigger and actually deciding to go for those fights, then Razor would probably not have his BKB, and he most certainly won't have his point booster right now. So off of that fight, top 5 got to feel pretty good. The gold earn still not in their favor, but the dip in experience earn off of that, a 4,000 experience swing is very, very welcome. However, if they overextend here, they could very well get punished. Because in that last fight, they did not have to deal with the Sand King. And now Sand King, though, getting it silenced and picked off a huge enchant totem. Assassinate going to fly onto cap. They already take out the Sand King again. I mean, the Sand King had some pretty good burst strikes earlier on, but now just getting picked off. He's unable to do anything. Really, Dulce doesn't have a Blink Ravage just yet. So Isurus, they're 2 men down, and they have to sack their tier 2 tower. Top 5 take a huge breath of air. It seemed like they were, I mean, for the most part, just waiting, but at the same time, Isurus were getting picks with the Invoker and stuff like that, just applying a constant stream of pressure the way of top 5. But now fighting back just a little bit is going to give Nature's Prophet enough gold to finish his BKB. The Shadow Shaman, never going to have that item, but BKB is even being built up on Earthshaker. And Isurus, their right-click damage is pretty high with the Invoker and Alacrity, but there's still no completed Demon Edge item quite yet for the Sniper. So his damage potential isn't the highest, especially when he gets hit with a fissure with a BKB'd Luna who's eclipsing right in front of him. The Sniper needs to be playing a little bit further back in that scenario, but unfortunately the Tidehunter kind of jumped the gun. He blinked forward in that bottom lane fight, so he blinked forward, whereas then he split the team into over here and over here, the enemy team. So these are the enemies. And then Sniper was just over here. He's like, wait, I thought there was a Tidehunter over here. So they got to make sure that they play their spacing game just a little bit better, because Tidehunter, if he gets caught by the Luna or the Razor, is probably just going to be ripped to shreds. Maybe not as much so now that he is going for his crit, and he'll have that one, the Daedalus, completed shortly enough. But you have the Blink Dagger, you have the Sannyasha. If you can't actually use those items, then that's, 6,000-ish gold that you spent, and it's not contributing anything to your game right now, so what's the point? 23 to 30 though, and top 5, they're going to start doing Nature's Prophet things. They have the BKBs all up, and well, now they're going to be facing down a full 5-man cast of Isurus, so they don't have the luxury of fighting Isurus without their Sand King. It's going to be imperative for top 5 to try to get a lockdown on the Invoker, try to get it on Sniper as well, and keep their spacing really spread out. If they do that, then the Ravage gets worse, the Epicenter gets worse, and in general, for top 5, they will get a little bit more survivability. But I think we're in for a little bit of a snooze fest in this game. It looks like both teams are just going to be perfectly content with farming up for now. Roshan, oh, it's not going to be spawning just yet. I wish that instead of putting it to here and then showing you the time, would just show you the time from over here. But it's going to be a really long Roshan, so all the teams going to be forced to just chill for another 250. Sniper's going to be happy because he will get his Daedalus off of that, but yeah, it's going to just be gold farmed everywhere. Invoker does complete his sheep stick, and well, he did die for the first time, but still, he is pretty much richer than God. He's 3,000 above the Luna, who's catching up at a pretty decent clip, holding on to 4,200 gold herself, now 43. She wants to save for buyback, and, well, I think against this lineup for Isurus, since you already have the BKB and the Man Style for defensive items, I think she could afford to wait on the Satanic and go for something that's a little bit more smashy, like a Butterfly. Protect yourself against the right clicks of Invoker, as well as that Sniper, and it'll also make your illusions extremely jacked. Of course, going for Satanic could be an option, but then at that point, I'm concerned for top 5 as to whether or not they have enough damage to actually kill the Isurus team, because they're going to be working through Epicenters and Ravages and everything. Getting to the back is hard enough, and then once you get to the back of the fight, you kind of just want to have a decisive blow and kill off the Sniper, or whoever you get your hands on. Because Sniper is now a pretty large threat. He has his Daedalus completed. He's hitting pretty quickly, and he's hitting pretty hard. And if top 5 don't actually get to the back of the fight with their heroes, then Sniper is going to have all the time in the world to fire off shrapnels, fire off assassinates, and just generally go wild on the top 5 team. So that's what's going to happen, is it? Well, we'll settle that one in a little bit once we have a little bit more of a break. I'm sure a pause is inevitably going to come up or something. But 34 minutes into the game now, and well, Isurus have pretty much climbed out from the pit of disadvantage they had. 4,000 gold at the peak was the advantage for Isurus, and now it's sitting very comfortably at around 0. Experience still slightly the way of Isurus, but at this point it's not really relevant. It's all about these team fights. There we go. Gotta play the moderator too, it seems. Awareness. Might get jumped with the Orchid. There it is. This is going to be the third time awareness. He has a team right behind him. There's a 4-staff mech to keep him alive. Jesus, Sand King, you're breaking my heart. Isurus, going that far in without your sniper seems like a terrible idea to me. They're going to get away with their Sand King, which is something. But sending those heroes in, or the Sand King in, knowing that he's very easily picked off because he got picked off twice before, it's risky business, risky plays from the Isurus side. Now we see a smoke. Top 5 finally looking to break this stalemate we've had. And will they find anyone? Sand King is in the area. They have True Sight. Please tell me that. They have one Satchel of Dust. There's a Blink Fissure. They're just going to, kick Awareness's ass. Shadow Shaman's going to contribute one lowly shock and get that kill. But seriously, Sand King. Seriously, we have to talk. This is an intervention. This is about you and your addiction of being alone. You need support, Sand King, and we're here because we care for you, and also because they want to win this game. And if Isurus are constantly fighting with their Sand King, odds are they're not going to win fighting a 4v5 battle. They're going to catch Fly, though. Assassinate's going to be dodged, but the Meteor Deafening Blast also will be dodged. Fly going to take literally no damage from all that. Now gets Sprout into Najara. 4-staff out, we'll save the Skywrath Mage, but he got hit so hard from that one hit from the Nature's Prophet. Isurus, they dump a boatload of items on that Nature's Prophet and get away with absolutely no damage done. Because BKB is a really strong item, guys. Instantly into the Roshan pit straight after. The Serpent Warriors are going to be munched up a little bit by Roshan. Cat, this is an intervention, Cat. We have to talk about this. If you take a look, guys, Eye of the Storm is actually doing nothing, and also they're fighting into the Roshan pit against an Invoker and a Sand King and a Tidehunter. This could be a very easy Blink Ravage. You can hit out to everyone with the Epicenter on a Cat into whatever. Cat's going to be brought down. Killed by Roshan, actually. Still is alive for now. Let's see who's going to pick up the Aegis. In the meantime, Dulce trapped in the Sprout. Ashes gets a 3-man Echo with a nice Enchant Totem kill onto the Skywrath Mage. It looks like the Sand King grabbed the Aegis after the Luna killed off that the Roshan. Now Ashes is going to be worked down by LDS, throwing out Deafening Blast. Unfortunately, a little bit off the mark. The Razor, I believe, does get to teleport out. No, this is Nature's Prophet, actually. Nature's Prophet gets to teleport out of there. But top 5, seriously, why would you go into a Roshan pit against a Ravage, against an Epicenter? It was pretty damn clear as well, and now LDS is going to catch Nature's Prophet up on top lane. BKB? No BKB this time because you're hexed, buddy. It's an easy kill for the Invoker up on top, and with only the Razor alive, Isurus, they're going to look to make something happen. Their creeps, though, are not exactly cooperating with them. I think everyone should go down to the bottom lane. That seems like a good idea to me. 100% assemble down on the bottom lane. And then hopefully use this Aegis, which was very nicely snagged by Awareness. I guess if you feed yourself enough times, eventually you'll get an amazing play. And stealing that away from the Luna will help them win that fight in a pretty large way. And now they have creep support down bottom. LDS going to boot to travel down here. Everyone, though, from top 5 is alive. And checking the ultimate status, there are no ultimates up for Isurus Gaming. At least none of the ones that matter. Fortification will keep them out, and then we go right back to our stalemate. Resident Sleeper indeed. Awareness will boot to travels back. And it looks like Isurus, well, they get a nice fight, but ultimately they can't capitalize on that by going into the enemy base. But the Sniper did survive in that fight, and Invoker collected quite a lot of gold from that. So now the items are going to be built up from Isurus after that large infusion. And what is it going to be for the Skywrath Mage? Looks like he's going to go for nothing right now. Holding the smoke, holding the gem, 600 gold. It's nothing to write home about, but still, I mean, it's Skywrath Mage. What do you expect? The Invoker is sitting at 3,500, has completed his boots travels a little while ago. That was actually before the fight even. And he's holding onto his Hand of Midas still. Probably wants to get one, maybe another, well, maybe 2 procs out of that. But after that, he's going to ship that out and then go for pretty much whatever he wants. He's pretty much capped out as far as casting items, unless he wants to go deep into the casting, in which case he will get a Refresher Orb. But if he doesn't want to do that, then getting something like a Maelstrom or a Mjolnir is going to certainly help this Invoker to contribute to the damage output. Also, the static charge is going to be very nice. Sand King, the casual energy booster, had his Arcanes and decided Travels were the better fit for him. So he's going to hold on to that for a little while longer, just giving that extra mana pool. There's no reason to sell it because he's holding on to 3,700 gold. There might be a Veil in his future with the magic damage that Invoker is pumping out. It would certainly be a welcome addition to the Isurus side. Tidehunter is going to be happy with that as well, as he does have his pipe completed, and Sniper going for a Hyperstone. Possible Maelstrom, possible Assault Cuirass. Either way, this guy's going to be doing a lot of damage. And after that fight, well, not surprisingly, top 5, who the team who got wiped, not going to have much to write home about. Has a Satanic up on Luna, but we saw how much that helped her last fight. Pretty much none. It did not help her at all. BKBs, Yules, more BKBs, and that's about it. The BKBs aren't up for top 5 at the right time. And by the right time, I mean when the Ravage is deployed, when the Epicenter with the Blink Burrow Strike is deployed, then top 5 are going to be in for a very bad time. They need their BKBs to hit against the Ravage and the Epicenter, at least delay it. Like, if they could force out the Ravage and have that Ravage run up against Magic Community, that's a pretty big win for top 5, because still Isurus are fairly dependent on that Ravage to fight, and they will be for the rest of the game, pretty much. 41 minutes, and we're back to this stalemate situation. The Sand King does have his Aegis, but really, Isurus, if your Sand King is holding the Aegis, it's not really a huge indication that you need to be looking for a fight right now. Unless you're Sand King, in which case you might just get picked off again, twice. Because Sand King. Please, Sand King. Don't make it 4. That would break my heart. Oh, he's spotted. Avengers assemble. Up on top lane. Blink, Enchant Totem, Fissure. No Fissure. Okay, no Fissure. Just the Orchid and Beatdown. I guess that's the plan. This is going to take his Aegis down for sure. But can they kill him a second time? They might not even try. They have to deal with the Blink. And there's the Blink out for awareness. So this time, Sand King, you get to live. This time. But still, I mean, he was nowhere near his entire team. And he doesn't exactly have Invoker levels of farm. So he can't very easily escape from that. Though he does have the Aegis, so I guess he did kind of escape. It's a narrow escape, let's call it that. ZZZ. This game is just going to be a lot of farming, it seems. I mean, 42 minutes in, and this is only game number 1, guys. This is one of the 2 games that's going to be played. I thought for sure that top 5 would be playing a little bit more aggressively than they have been. I mean, they have the Aghanims on the Razor. Maybe they're waiting for a Refresher Orb or something, or maybe they're just waiting. Each team is definitely waiting for the other team to make a move. I feel like both teams think that the other team, each team thinks that their team is stronger in the late game, and that of course means that no one's actually going to be pulling any triggers. They're just going to sit back and farm all day, which is fantastic. Really cool of both of these teams to let me watch them last hit and stuff like that. Really, this fight is not going to come down to net worth or gold per minute or EXP per minute or anything like that, even though, holy crap, there's a lot of EXP per minute on the Invoker. It's going to come down to who gets picked off, how the BKBs are, the positioning and timing of the team fight ultimates, and then really, if either team gets ahead in those categories in a fight, then they're going to win it. Like, it doesn't really matter what the gold is looking like, because, you know, the Sniper's doing decent damage, as is the Luna, although Luna kind of a little bit low, given the fact that she doesn't have a butterfly or something like that. But yeah, just going to be up to the positioning, timing, who gets picked off, and the BKB usage. There it is. Of course there's going to be a pause, guys. Of course there is. Alright, well, 43 minutes into the game, and I guess, well, I already looked at all these items because we haven't been seeing anything happen for the past however long. Well, I mean, gold earned slightly in favor of Isurus after that last Roshan fight and then the subsequent actions. They still have the experience advantage, but I'm pretty sure we all already knew that. Both teams, okay, if it does come to a super late game situation, at the beginning of this draft I did favor top 5 to have a slight lead in that, seeing as though they had Luna as well as Razor to scale pretty well into the late game, plus Nature's Prophet to do that split pushing action. Isurus, though, they are going to always have their teamfight ultimates, and they will pretty much always be able to blast down at least 2 heroes from the top 5 side, assuming they get their teamfight ultimates to come together. So, late game versus late game, I would say very, very slim advantage to top 5 with the split pushing power that they have, or split pushing advantage. Like, they could push towers with the Razor by himself, or the Nature's Prophet by himself, or anyone by themselves. But, oh my god. It's happening, guys. We're done. We're free. We're free of the farm fest. Sorry guys, BRB, gotta water the farm. Come on, Isurus, get back here and finish this game. Of course, it has to be the game where I have the night shift, and it's just me. Everyone else is gonna wake up at like 4 o'clock, and don't tell anyone. I don't really want to do that, and also I can't because people are gonna be angry. Because I'm gonna be pretty loud at that early in the morning, and that's not fun. But hey, I'm here now, and I get these exciting games. Great times. Woo! Just want to thank everyone for tuning in and bearing with me with this kind of boring game. Alright, we're back in, guys. We're back in, and now we'll see who can get the better last hits. Holy crap, Invoker has a lot. Who's surprised? Raise your hand. And Invoker's actually in a little bit of trouble. I don't think this... Oh, this is a smoke, and LDS. Don't show your face. Don't even move. Don't breathe. Oh, he breathes. They see him. Fissure is going to go wide and catch on to him. They have the Hex. They have the Shackle, but they can't Shackle. There's the Sprout. Now they can Shackle. Force Staff out. Ghost Walk. Oh, please tell me. No. Okay, there's a Sentry. I was like, if they actually let him Ghost Walk out of there because they don't have any True Sight, holy crap, that would have been like the biggest mini throw of all time, if that makes any sense, which it probably doesn't, but it would have been them throwing away a kill at the very least. That's a kind of throw. Sniper looks like he actually hasn't gone for anything off of his Hyperstone. So still holding on to that one. Maelstrom or AC will be in the works eventually, but for now it's a BKB. So now even if the Earthshaker or Luna do get to the back lines, then they'll have to go through a Magic Immune Sniper. I think Sniper at this point can still duel the Luna, although he will be fighting into lifesteal, whereas he himself doesn't have any. So although Sniper's putting out more damage for sure, the Luna's survivability just trumps his in so many ways. Alright, Isurus. They're up on top lane, and they're setting a trap for the Nature's Prophet. And it looks like Invoker has gone for the caster build. Will ship out his Hand of Midas, or at least keep it in his stash. Now they see Fly, Blink Burrow, Assassinate, Blink Burrow, Epicenter, but the Burrow Strike misses! Awareness! Let's all have a collective facepalm for Awareness, who missed his Blink Burrow because he just decided to keep his spacing a little bit too wide. And now with Invoker down, top 5, they've been pushing the mid lane, they're just going to go for it. It's about time something happened. Luna with a Mantis-style illusion that she's going to sacrifice up to the tier 4 tower gods. They blend the creep wave, and the Serpent Wards are going to keep on pecking away. Aldanchin going to start working at those, pull the aggro off the tower as well, but whatever, has that lifesteal. And Isurus going to wait a couple more seconds. They really need to fight with their Invoker. There's a nice Echo Slam in, Catacast 3, and obliterate Nadara. That's instantly the Skywrath dead, and Sand King's going to buy back into this. Algod is sitting in the back, right-clicking everyone. Awareness going to walk right in with the Burrow Strike. Here's the Invoker combination, but it will land on pretty much no one. Finally, the Ravage is out. Luna's going to go down. Cat's standing strong, but not for very long, because the Sniper hasn't moved. He's just firing away, and everyone from top 5 is going to go down. That Epicenter wasn't even there. The Ravage didn't look very impressive, nor did the Invoker combo, but it was just the Sniper in the back. Just the Sniper. Sitting near his tier 4s, pecking away at everyone, and no one from top 5 actually went to deal with that. The Razor tried, so I guess credit to the Razor for trying, but you don't get points for trying, you get points for succeeding. And Isurus take the nice team fight, and now, well, everyone is going to have enough buyback for like the next 20 minutes, so it's kind of pointless in checking these buybacks, because if anyone doesn't have... Oh, Earthshaker actually doesn't have it. Well, I mean, Isurus, they're going to push and force out the buybacks out of who they can. And, well, they actually could still fight in a 2v4. I would feel pretty good about those numbers. They're going to start with Shrapnel, which will do literally no damage versus this backdoor protection. Where is this creep wave? This mid lane creep wave has been so lazy for Isurus. The supports are going to come back up for top 5, and, well, that looks like to be the end of it, although the Tornado does catch the Razor. Now the Deafening Blast, Meteor combination. Assassinate's going to fly through as well, do some pretty serious damage onto Cat. He's going to pop his mech, though, and it should be just fine. LDS might want to look for the Sunstrike kill a little down the line. Might as well go for it. You never know. You never know when you could get a Sunstrike kill. Alright, he's not going to go for it. Roshan, though, is up, so it looks like we are going to be seeing that attempted one more time by Isurus. They have the huge Roshan advantage, and they also have an Epicenter available. Let's hope that Awareness doesn't miss this one. I'm sorry, Awareness. I'm just kidding. You know I'm kidding, right? I don't mean it. I really don't. But Invoker has a Refresher Orb now up, and if they wait another 38 seconds for this Ravage to be up as well, there's no way that top 5 are going to take a Roshan fight. As strong as Luna is in that Roshan pit this late in the game with those glaives, having access to bounce to everyone, Isurus just have free reign. They have the Tide Hunter, the Sand King. Usually that's just enough, but with an Invoker on top of that, plus a Sniper who could have some really nice places to hide, like you chill back here, snipe down everyone in this area, you're going to be just fine, as long as you have vision. Serpent Wars are being deployed, and top 5, they're clumping up. Isurus, awareness, what are you doing? Get in this fight, you coward. The Roshan is slowly being brought down. Dulce has a Blink Dagger. They're going to spot out everyone. There's a Tornado, which is going to force the BKB out from Cat. Echo Slam only hit LDS. They'll probably be able to bring down this Earthshaker, but he does have buyback. If he does go down, he will be brought down. Now they're all in their retreat, just trying to lure them further and further in, because here's the Ravage, and the Epicenter combo will hit absolutely freaking nobody. Algodonchin is going to jump forward and try to do as much damage. He's once again being completely ignored in the buyback from LDS. He's going to join this fight, and he's going to go straight for whatever. Cold Snap making it so that Luna can't do a damn thing. She's going to be brought down. Fly going to be chased down, forced into the BKB. Teleportation. Assassinate is not going to land. Not enough time. But once again, top 5, it didn't work the first time. I guess you figure it has to work the second time? And that's not how logic works. They lose 4 heroes, they lose the Roshan, and what was that item? I don't know what that item was for Sniper. Was that the Orb of Venom still? Really? Well, he gets rid of whatever that was. Picks up an Aegis for himself. Now Cheese on the Sand King. So once awareness gets picked off, he'll be able to survive, but just like last time, Fly, the only one to survive from the Roshan fight, and it's not going to work out because here comes Forge Spirits, Cold Snap, and Fly is going to be worked down by these spirits, although Hex onto LDS will slow him down. Boots of Travel in from the Sand King. A little bit too late to the party because Nature's Prophet, that's literally what happened last Roshan. Like, that's actually what happened. They just went in, top 5 got cleaned up, and then Nature's Prophet went top to split push, and then Invoker had Max Wex, chased him down, and killed him. Like, I swear, it's like Groundhog Day in this game. Now, my ping is fine, guys, but okay, Isurus, they are once again knocking on the mid lane front door of top 5. Invoker does have Boots of Travels in. The creep wave this time is cooperating a little bit more. I mean, the first time it was back here, and now it's over here, so I guess if they push in a third time, it should be at the right place at the right time. Maybe, assuming linear creep rates. Okay, so of course we have to have another pause, but Sniper... Oh, that was actually a Hyperstone. Did you just... Okay, screw Hyperstones, you don't need that shit. You know, it's only a 2,000 gold item. Just casually sell that one away, pick up the Aegis. Don't worry about dropping it on the floor and having your courier pick it up. You don't need it. You can buy another one. You're rich, Sniper. This Sniper is like the ultimate 1%er. He's just handing out Hyperstones to all the neighborhood children, just flaunting his wealth because he can. Sheepstake up on the Sand King, and, well, Fresh Orb being built on the Tide Hunter. Invoker's completely 6-slotted. I think Force Staff might be a little bit unnecessary, or at least one of these items unnecessary. You might want to ship one of those out for a damage item. But Razor will on his way to his heart, most likely, although not too close. He actually doesn't have any buyback, so Isurus, well, I mean, in 20 seconds, by the time the creeps get here, it'll be like 5 seconds until he respawns, so, you know, whatever. Luna does have a buyback as well, though she doesn't really want to spend it. She wants to hold on to this talisman and try to build up her butterfly. Earthshaker and Shadow Shaman are up. They have their BKBs, but that's about it. And Nature's Prophet, well, I mean, he got picked off again. So, you know, what are you going to do? Alright, so 50 minutes in. 50 minutes, guys. And we're still, you know, just plugging along. We're just waiting for top 5 to go for a third Roshan attempt when Isurus are right on the outer wings, and then they'll get cleaned up again, and then that should be Rax's, because this push certainly isn't going anywhere. Oh my god. Alright, so, yeah. How's everyone doing today? Because I was doing great, but now I'm kind of just like, blah. Just unhappiness as long farm fest games that show no indication of ending ever. That's what everyone's excited for. Those are truly the best games. I mean, at the very least, I guess we get to see a sniper. So it could be worse. Like, if this sniper was a more vanilla carry, like a Faceless Void, it'll be a lot more interesting for Isurus since they would have the ultimate and wombo combo. But it's a sniper. So I guess I should appreciate that fact, in that I'm seeing this little dwarf dude that I don't get to see very often. But at the end of the day, it's a 6-slot sniper soon enough. I guess he has the Aegis slot to replace. Should be an MKB, seeing as though there is a Luna on the other end. And then he'll be able to sell his Sanjin Yasha and go for an Eye of Skadi, which is a strict upgrade. Or almost a strict upgrade. I guess you don't get the movement speed from Skadi. But it's, in general, more desirable of an item, let's say. Alright, Isurus, let's see if you can make this push happen, because there's not much time left before the Razor and Luna come back up. They're going to come in full force, however. It's a minute off of their ultimate for their Tidehunter, but with Alacrity on the Sniper, he's going to peck away at this tower devastatingly, do a lot of damage. Fisher's going to slow him down, and Serpent Wards will be deployed. Forge Spirits on the high ground as well. Well, it looks like they're going to bring down a tier 3 tower. Holla frickin' Luya. We did it, guys! We did it! Everyone fall back and farm for another 20 minutes. Hooray! Smoke up, though. It's a trap. Nobody tell top 5. Luna, Illusions on the front lines. They still don't have a Ravage, though. They have Epicenter available. Has a slightly shorter cooldown than Ravage. 100 versus 150. That's the difference right there. But top 5, they smell something. And whatever. Don't go down there, whatever. Don't you do it. Don't you dare do it. The Nature Prophet is still down, so Isurus do have a numbers advantage right now. But top 5, they definitely smell this one coming. So Isurus, they're probably not going to get much, although, well, Sniper going to try to play it cool for the rest of his team. The smoke is ultimately going to be wasted. But they're just going to go for it anyway. YOLO push. There's the blink forward for a Hex into fallback. Standard plays. But with Alacrity on the Sniper, he's going to be doing a lot of damage. That is a maxed out Alacrity, by the way. Maxed out Wex, maxed out Exhort. And Sniper from his attack range is going to be slowly pecking away at the Raxes. Top 5, their hand is going to be forced here. And Isurus, have they waited long enough for their Ravage? They have. Top 5, they got to be extremely careful. If they lose a fight now, they will not have buyback on the Razor. And Isurus, they pretty much all have buybacks and boosted travel, so anyone you kill off is not going to be out of the fight for very long. Please, Isurus, don't back up now. You have the team fight advantage. You brought the Raxes down to half HP. And Sniper is going to keep on doing it. This is the power of Sniper, I guess. Everyone should pick Sniper in their next game because apparently he's really strong and really balanced. Clearing the creep waves, yada yada, Aegis on the Sniper. I mean, if Isurus back off, then that's just an indication that they just don't want to win this game. Maybe it's too long to be worth winning. Like, you just don't feel good about it. They're going to look for a courier, I guess, or, oh, take a tier 2 tower. That's fine also. Doing something around the map at all is going to be a perfectly respectable play, as the Sniper does go for that MKB. What was that? Sanjin Yasha being sold, so he does replace the Sanjin Yasha for now. Still has the Aegis and will have enough gold to buy pretty much no matter anything he wants after that Aegis does time out. In top 5, everyone will be forced up at top, but not to defend a tier 2 tower. That's just not worth it. Let Sniper have that one. He's hitting for 300 a pop, and he's hitting very quickly as well. Goodbye tower, and then right back to the mid lane. Oh my god, this game. 53 minutes in, and no Rax is taken. Slow and steady. May not win the race, but at least it doesn't end up splattered on the walls. If anyone could cite that to me, where that came from, super bonus points, because it's pretty obscure. Alright, so each team is going to try to get a handle on their lanes. I think this is just going to be another Roshan. That's going to be stall to Roshan game. In which case, I'm pleading to you, Volvo. 10-second respawn. Or a 0-second respawn. Anything. Anything to make this hell stop. It's like Mr. Bones' Wild Ride. You can't leave. You can't get off Mr. Bones' Wild Ride. I'm running out of water too. God damn it. Well, it's going to be another minute for the Aegis to be claimed by Roshan. Sniper has bought something with his gold. It's going to be a butterfly, it looks like. So, looks like Scotty not going to be it. Just going to go for butterfly. I mean, I say just go for butterfly. You're just casually throwing 6,000 gold. Once again, this sniper is like the ultimate 1%. It's a shame that he has binoculars and not a monocle. That would have been pretty sweet. Although it wouldn't have been in the sniper's flavor at all. Whoa, really? Oh, that was just a misclick. I was like, really? It's 54 minutes into the game. You're farming to no end, and you get a drum? Really? While your sniper's getting butterflies casually, you get a drum, Tidehunter. But he's just slowly building towards his orchid, it seems. Oh no, that was just a misclick on drum. Is drum like near anything? I don't even know. This is how bored I am, guys. I'm just gonna check this real fast. Where the hell is drum? Drum's not near anything. I guess it's near Vlad's. Vlad's would certainly be very useful for the team, but I think it's got to be Skyrath who picks that one up. Skyrath or Sand King. Either one would be really great to have that item. Awareness gonna go for the 1v1 kill on Fly, but now he's in a lot of trouble. Fissure fortunately is gonna miss, and Sand King, thank you Sand King for making this game interesting. He just, you know, YOLO dove into a whole bunch of heroes because he can. He even used Epicenter. Wait, did he mess up his Epicenter again? Oh my god, Awareness, this guy. This guy. I didn't see him use his Epicenter, but he must have canceled it before it fully channeled. And then he tried to go for it, and then he just missed. I love it. I love it, guys. This is amazing. By the way, that last push from Isurus, it's now pretty much all healed up. Now they're going to go in onto Cat, though. Burst Strike onto 2. There's no Ravage just yet. There's Ravage. They're going to blow up Cat first and foremost. And Algodom is going to hit with an Echo Slam, but he has BKB up. He's going to focus down whatever. Can't get the Satanic off. Now the Eclipse finally not going down just yet. Whatever is standing strong for now. In the meantime, Ash is in the back end. The Invoker's focusing him in. Whatever is going to be picked off by the Sniper. No one is focusing the Sniper. Why? Top 5. Why? Algodonchin still alive, stunned up for now, but he's going to throw more and more shrapnel. Still going for those racks. Now Fly is in sights. Luna's going to buy back, and LDS does get the snipe on the Shadow Shaman. That was a Sunstrike kill. Well done for him. Ashes will slip out of there in the end, but Isurus down all their teamfight ultimates. They'll try to flee from Fly. No Orchid or Sheep or anything like that. He will get Hex up, putting the Ice Wall. LDS is going to walk away safe and sound. And that's going to be it. They don't take Raxes, but at least they fight. And hell yeah, Matt YFL. That is a magic card. I don't remember which one it is, but you are correct, sir. Major points to him. He's the winner of this game. Matt at YFL. Matty Florida? I don't know. Yeah, so no matter who wins this game, he's the real winner. He's the real winner. Shoutouts to him. But Roshan, no! Valve, why? Valve, why? Isurus, they burned everything they had, but they spend so much time trying to kill off the Luna, but that Satanic just giving her so much survivability, and well, Sniper will be able to hit a little bit faster now, so I think he might be able to outrace that Luna, but now the Sniper, the only thing he could do is ship out his Blink Dagger. I think it might just be what he wants to do, because although Blink Dagger always holds its utility, when it gets to this super late game stage, and he's just sitting there in his BKB, he's not going to be blinking at all, so I think it's time to sell that as Shadow Shaman finally picks up his. This is the difference between Sniper, the 1% hero, and Shadow Shaman, the very bottom of the 99%. He's like, hallelujah, 2100 gold. I'll spend all my gold for that one. Maybe I'll get some dental plan for the kids or something. I don't know. I'm losing it, guys. I'm sorry. But yeah, Sniper, I think it's time to ship the Blink Dagger. I don't know what you get now. As far as damage is concerned, like, he already has Daedalus and MKB. Those are the big two, and a Butterfly as well. As far as agility heroes are concerned, you can't really ask for much more. I think you might as well just go for the biggest ticket item you could possibly get. No, not Divine Rapier. No, not Dagon 5. Just go for an Eye of Scotty. I mean, it'll give him a lot of survivability. Or Lifesteal. I don't think it's going to come down to a Sniper versus Luna man fight, but if it does, he's going to wish he had a Satanic in his inventory. So Isurus, they're going to go for it one more time. If it didn't work the second time, it is definitely going to work the third time. In Awareness, you better not waste your Epicenter this time. They're going to catch Ashes. Put him in a nice wall, hex him up as well. This is going to be a free pick on the Earthshaker. Isurus got a really nice start here, and Earthshaker doesn't have a buyback. They picked him off LDS. He's been driving his team the entire game. This is a pretty large opening for Isurus, though. Bottom lane is pushing from Nature's Prophet. Serpent Warriors are now going to be deployed, but that's just one hit kill each for the sniper. These Serpent Warriors are not going to last long, nor will the Luna Illusions. So goodbye, Serpent Wards. Thanks for your tribute to the sniper. And Luna Illusion number 2 is going to jump right in. But the melee Raxes, guys, it's 59 minutes in. The melee Raxes are down. Hallelujah. Range Raxes are soon to follow. Are they going to slide up to top lane? Pink is teleported back. That's the Skywrath Mage. And it looks like they're just going to go for top. Algodonchin is absolutely dishing at the moment. And Idara is going to hold the bottom lane for now. Top 5, their hand is being forced, but their hand is currently empty, so they don't have a weapon or anything to hit Isurus with because they don't have their full cast, and they're going to be fighting into an hour Refresher Orb Tide. Algodonchin is just happily pecking away, but now there's a blink in with the BKB Hex and the Shadow Shaman. Can they bring down the sniper? They're at the very least going to drain out a good amount of damage with Fly teleporting in from the back. They will kill him off. He does have buyback TP in, though, if he does want to use it. The Ravage now available. He will catch 2. Where's the Invoker? Where's everyone else? They're just leaving the Tidehunter behind. Ravage is deployed. He has another one, but he's going to get hexed up. Instantly, Kraken Shell will debuff it. There's the Refresh. There's the Ravage. Catching onto everyone with the Deafening Blast and the Meteor onto 2. Refresher Orb now on the Invoker. Whatever is dropping pretty low. He's going to use the Satanic, though, and he's going to get very quickly back into full HP, but now hexed up again. He's going to go down. Algodonchin does buy back and does teleport to this fight, and now they're going to go for Fly. Awareness, Burrow Strike in on the Nature's Prophet with the Epicenter. No Orchid in time, and Fly's going to go down as well. Hour mark, and that's going to be 2 Raxes, and LDS does live with an outrageous 11k gold in his bank account. That's going to be 2 sets of Raxes, and that was also a 4v5 from Isurus, and GG is called. Alright guys, that is going to be the end of game number 1. There's still another game coming up, and I hope all of you guys stick around, because this game was hilarious and sad at the same time, and I can't possibly handle that alone. I hope you guys do stick around, but until then we're going to just wait for the lobby to get back up, and then we're going to be jumping right back into game number 2, guys. GG.